So from the course, moving on to the introductory part about clinical data management. This is going to be your definition if you are asked to define what clinical data management is, right? So clinical data management is a process to transform data on source documents into quality data for the statistical analysis and reporting purposes using standardized methods. So now whenever you get a question around this, you should not miss out on any aspect from this entire definition to mention your answer. Let's say what could be the possible definition of CDM is going to be the entire definition right from clinical data management is a process to transform data on source documents into quality data form for statistical analysis and reporting using standard methods. And now when we say that we are transforming data into quality data, what is it that quality data is defined as? So quality data is defined as the data that is sufficiently supporting conclusions and interpretations equivalent to those derived from error-free data. So this is your second definition to remember. First would be clinical data management definition. Then comes definition of quality data, right? So the data that sufficiently supports conclusions and interpretations equivalent to those derived from error-free data is going to be your definition for quality data. Now, though we are involved, as data management individuals in this process, so this process of transforming the clinical data and the entire aspect of processing the data, it is divided into further categories. Let's say first step being gathering the data, then capturing the data, then monitoring data, then analyzing of data, and then reporting of data. So there are sub aspects of data management as well. So that's where we are further dividing data into different steps, which is of gathering information, capturing information, monitoring, analyzing, and then reporting of that data. Right. So all this is the information which we are going to process further. Are we clear so far, or are there any other questions from anyone?
No, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. So data management begins with the development of the data management plan, which is the DMP document, and designing of CRF, which is the electronic CRF by regulatory quality control procedures, database cleaning, locking, analysis, archiving, and etc. following processes. So when we are starting with the preparation of the data management plan, as we saw that we will be moving forward in different topics, that's where the definition of how the setup, conduct, and closeout phases would really follow one after each other would be getting clear to you guys. So, as we have mentioned, only few steps, let's say data management plan preparation, then design of CRFs, then quality control procedures, database cleaning, locking, analysis, archiving, etc. You would then be possibly able to relate the entire process right from setup to the closeout. Primary objective of the CDM process is being to provide high quality data by keeping the number of errors and missing data as low as possible and gather maximum data for analysis through the three phases of each study, which is setup, conduct, and closeout. Now, for you know doing this or for capturing data for analysis, we are going to need software tools. These software tools are nothing else, but they are also called as EDC tools, right? We learned electronic data capture system, right? So these EDC tools, are going to have their component of the clinical data management systems, which is the CDMS, of which the examples are Medidata Rave, OCRDC, which is Oracle Clinical Remote Data Capture System, Inform, ClinTrial, and many other such in-house tools that are developed by the organizations. And certainly, the one which we will be using, which is going to be as a part of the demonstration for you guys. So that is, the tool named ClinSoft, which we are going to use, right, in EDC. Again, further diving into details about each of these phases, let's say the phases of the study during data management development or the EDC development is setup, where document preparation and its testing is going to happen. So all the documents right from scratch, DMP, ECRFs, SDS, DVP, which is also called as the edit check specification document, which is ECS, then CRF completion guidelines document, then there is going to be testing, right? All of which we are good doing in the setup phase, as in the document preparation and the testing is going to be a part of the setup. Then the conduct, where data discrepancy review and external data review is going to be done. So whatever checks we have set in the setup phase as per the edit check specification document, according to those checks we are going to get the discrepancies for which we are going to do the review. So discrepancy review and external data review we are going to do and conduct, along with the closeout activities, that is the database soft lock and hard lock, as in wherever applicable the entry lock is performed, and with the entry lock there is going to be hard lock, as in the database lock as well. So that's how setup, conduct, and closeout are differentiated as phases. Now, apart from these phases, there is going to be an additional step if required or if need be, which is called as a migration, a mid-study change, MSC, or a post-production change, which is a PPC, for any update to the database or the EDC system during the conduct phase. So while the database development is ongoing, let's say during the setup phase, if there are any changes, which are not implemented, let's say, or if there are any new changes which needs to be implemented once the study is gone live, as moved from setup to conduct. Okay. So this process of migration is useful, where we'll again implement a particular change which was to be done as a part of the database development phase, and then put that particular change into the production environment, so that we would be able to interact or see it in the database interface, right? So that's what we mean by the migration phase or the mid study change or a post production change. Then with us are involved the database developer and the clinical data programmer who we are going to work with closely, for whatever support we would need in the database development and the study lifecycle maintenance. Okay. Also, apart from the database designer or the database developer and the clinical data programmer, we have the safety data coder or the medical coder who's involved in the medical coding process to support in the coding aspect. So here, when we have the team working with us, as a part of the development phase, we also would have the medical coder who's working with us, as the functional group involved for the safety data that is getting entered into the database. So, safety data coder or the medical coder is another team we are going to be interacting with. So, with that said, we have covered what is all about the clinical data management as an introductory slides.